Let's show you the rules here. Competitors, they must eat the dog and the bun. There's a 10-minute limit.
Are you ready?
Dunking can exceed 5 seconds.
And count it down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin!
And they're underway in Coney Island. Right in front of the Nathan's hot dog stand. We want to get an early check on the dogs per minute count as Joey goes into his regular routine, just shoveling them in.
Well, that's the thing for Joey. He just wants to come out without stumbling at all, and he could very likely take his 6th. I'm still reeling a little bit. Excuse my humble tone here, my gravitas, but George's intros were incredible this year.
They were, as always.
I had a 3-hour delay at LaGuardia recently, and I realized the air flight would be so much better if George would handle the boarding process. You know? Representing 17D.
That's why I call him the master of ceremony. Chestnut off to the lead. For a moment there, he held back just a bit. Now he's sitting at number 8. And we're coming to the end of the first minute. But look, he's got some competition.
Well, this is what I actually expected. A lot of these guys are tired of hearing Joey, particularly this guy.
Look at Bertoletti.
Patrick Deep Dish Bertoletti. He's eaten 275 jalapeno peppers in competition. His intestines are scary. They're more twisted than the final episode of Damages.
I was talking to Bertoletti early yesterday, and he said he'd stopped eating on Tuesday. He couldn't wait to go. We'll also give you the dogs per minute count. You'll see it come up from time to time. Bertoletti, record pace has got to be somewhere, well, early on, you got to be above 9.
Bertoletti and Chestnut on each other's pace right now.
Chestnut, there he goes, 9.1. That's the dog per minute count. And that's where he's got to be right now. Overall average, obviously, he's got to be like 6.8, 6.9 if he really wants to go for record here.
He's got the greatest dog per minute average in the game. Now there's Matt Stoney. I don't know if he's got a great future, but he's got a terrific present right now. And you know, his rise is mirroring that of Chestnut's. Last year he did 34. In Chestnut's first contest here, he did 32.
Chestnut comes back in front, but Stoney's right there with him. Of course, the real key comes when we get to about the halfway point, because traditionally that's where Chestnut really takes over. Look at Bertoletti. He's coming on strong.
Janice now is going to want to pick up his pace if he's going to get in the mix here. Stoney and Janice, a little bit of a budding rivalry here. Janice told me the other day he didn't think that Stoney had earned the hype. And right now, Stoney on pace with Bertoletti and just 2 behind Joey.
Well, he's saying that, of course, because Stoney, Megatod, he's so young. And he's coming on, and he's getting a lot of attention. And if I'd been in this for years, I wouldn't like that either. Joey Chestnut, we're coming to the 7th minute, 24 dogs.
All right, Joey's pace is right on track. He's seeming to step it up a little bit in these first few minutes. He credits that to his athletic stamina. Yeah, that's right. Joey goes to the gym during training at least 4 days a week to work on his cardiovascular strength, and he says that is what helps his breathing and what sets himself apart from the other eaters. Let's see if that elliptical will get him through today.
Well, you know, it used to be that the champion eaters were huge guys, just enormous human beings. But Chestnut, like Kobayashi before him, is more an example of what currently is happening. Guys who are in great shape, who work out. You look up and down that table, and that's mostly what you'll see.
Well, if you look at the young Matt Stoney, of course, he's very slight in frame. He's got that hair. He looks a little bit like Skrillex without the piercings. But Stoney is keeping pace.
4 minutes left on
Bertoletti falling now. Janice and Bertoletti got to keep an eye on their buns. What happens is you have to eat both hot dog and bun. Any piece of hot dog you eat, you have to eat the corresponding portion of bun for it to count. Extant buns are a nightmare for an eater. They are like student loans for a 22-year-old post-grad, not what you want.
You know, I love this kid, Stoney. He has given Chestnut a run. That may be the kind of thing that pushes Chestnut to record numbers.
Well, then again, if you want to watch Stoney, see if he can do up around 50, then he'll be keeping pace with Joey's rise.
Look at Crazy Legs. That's not what I call a record pace there. It looks like he's just having a good dinner.
You look to the right, you see my man from Philadelphia there, Micah Collins, moving his hands very fast. I don't know if he's putting a lot of dogs down. He's like a DJ in Vegas touching the turntables. You know, everyone knows it's an iTunes mix. Let's not pretend.
Chestnut now at 36. Stoney just 4 behind him. both Janice and Bertoletti, we expected them to do a little bit more at this point. They're keeping pace with one another.
If you look at
coming to the halfway point.
We just got to look at Badlands Booker. Biggest man on the stage, defies these young thin guys, and Badlands' belly is enormous. He's the Grandmaster Flash of corned beef hash.
And the conductor at train number 7 here.
That's right. There he is. And his belly is a dark, murky place like Greece's central bank. It's where everything goes just to fall effortlessly downward.
You are on your game today, Rich.
You see to his left there at the red, you can just see that red bandana. Head back. The only Boeing executive on the panel today, out of Seattle, Washington.
Chestnut, as we pass through the halfway point at 40. Stoney is 6 behind, as is Janet. Bertoletti is 7 back. But will this pace give him a record? Normally there's some slowdown at this point, but this is also the point that Joey Chestnut tends to start to, well, eat through the pain.
Doing very, very well down here.
You know, what's interesting, I mentioned in 5 championship efforts, his total dogs eaten are 309. Now that's in an era when the contest went down to 10 minutes. He has an average dog per minute overall contest of 5.9. So things do slip a little bit. He is keeping up on top of that here as we approach the home stretch. He's actually at 7.5.
Well, if you look at the dogs per minute right now, they go for 10 minutes. So right now, if Chestnut can keep that pace, I mean, we're looking at a huge number, 75.
Well, he's it's kind of astonishing. I mean, Joey Chestnut has done 68, as we all know. That's the world record. Approaching 50 now with more than 2 minutes remaining.
And both Janice and Bertoletti are looking at a possible end with 60. 3.5 minutes to go. Chestnut at 47.
I think Bertoletti might have bitten his cheek there, which is not what you want. That's Adrian Morgan to Bertoletti's left out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Certainly a future great.
There you are, 50. Now we're going to look at a record. He has 3 minutes, 12 seconds to do it. It's going to be tight.
And there's notorious B.O.B. Bob Shout. Twice weekly Zumba class he enrolled in earlier this year, clearly paying off. He looks great.
Oldest guy in competition here at 45.
3 minutes now.
Middle-aged middle manager from Middle America earning a middle income. Bob Shouts. Crazy legs.
He just keeps, I think he's just having a good, he's getting the free food.
Look,
you know?
he missed last year and it really devastated him, and he's returned. It's been seamless, like Andy Richter back on the stage. He's very happy to be here.
And he is a showman. 53 now for Joey Chestnut. A little over 2.5 minutes to go.
You know, the more I think about this, I think Pat Bertoletti would like to have minute 7 back. I think it's there when he started to slow a little bit. He might have gotten Joey in his head.
You've heard Joey talk about, you know, that he eats through the pain. Something that I don't think either Janice or Bertoletti consider just
it's
yet.
the first time I heard those two sort of face off a little bit in the pre-show. You know, Pat and Joey are besties away from the table. I think that relationship was strained at the Chicky and Pete's cheesesteak eating contest in Dorney Park. In fact, Pat became the new cheesesteak eating champion by a margin of 3, besting Mike Muskie Muscarella's cheesesteak title from 1990.
Stoney, the young rookie, is trying to keep with him. He's sitting now right in 4th. Just a little bit behind him. If he can pick up his pace, he can join both Janice and Bertoletti. Chestnut, though, he's beginning to pull away, just as he says he does, just as he plans to do. He's still keeping a 6.8 dog per minute pace and sits at 57 with 1.5 minutes to go in the Great International Championship.
It is a 12 to 13 hot dog margin for Joey Chestnut. Will he secure not his 2nd, not his 3rd, not his 4th, not his 5th, but his 6th
unprecedented
Major League eating title?
You got it. 59 dogs are down now. 1:15 to go. I'm really pleased, though, with where Janice and Bertoletti are. I mean, they're coming on record personal best for themselves.
They're holding tough. But, you know, actually, Bertoletti said when it gets really humid, like it is today, he feels like the buns get a little crust to them. They absorb some moisture, then harden, and they don't absorb the water as quickly as they do. He likes to dip into a red beverage, which is a little off-putting, so it's just as well.
We're in the final minute. Chestnut is at 62 dogs, still keeping a great pace here. Janice is 2nd, Bertoletti is 3rd.
63, looked like he's on pace for his 2nd best effort. This, however, would be 6 titles. That is Jordan level.
30 seconds, we're counting down. the final seconds of the 2012 Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. Joey Chestnut is on his way to doing it again. He goes through 64 dogs. Final 15 seconds. He's still keeping an amazing pace. 65 dogs, 10 seconds to go.
6 titles. He is the greatest major league eater of all times, grabbing his 6th mustard yellow belt.
68 is the unofficial number right now for Joey Chestnut.
I don't know if it's the heat or the emotions pumping through my veins, but I am overcome right now. And Joey seems highly pleased.
Man, how do you do that? How can you do something like that? It's like 8 pounds of dogs and buns that you just put down. Oh my goodness, Joey Chestnut has done it once again. 6 championships here at the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest.